Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, kuyaeggworld. Okay. Uh, Today, I am going to discuss another topic of C programming tutorials, and it's gonna be uh, all about array, array variable. Okay. One of For me, it's one of the best development in as far as C programming language is concerned. Okay, so I'll be discussing a little in array, and then eventually I'll be giving you a programming problem, and we'll try to do some programming using array variable. And along the way, we'll try to manually simulate it and discuss the behavior of array variable. Right. So here I am going to make use of my notepad to discuss something. Okay. Uh, Array actually is it's a variable. Okay. It is another type of variable. For example, when you are going to store to have say for example five scores of students. So usually you'll say int um, x, right, y, z, w, t, for example, right? And then in between the lines of the program, you'll be storing values in it, right? You'll be saying x is equal to, say for example, 78, um, right? And then y, for example, for a while, y, for example, is equal to 90, right? Then z, for example, is equal to 99, and another variable w is equal to 79, for example, and then t is equal to 78, for example, right? So that's it. Now in C programming, we have this array variable wherein you can make use of a single array variable and store several homogeneous data. When I say homogeneous data, data of the same data type, right? So in this particular example, the data are all integer values, right? So we can make use of these five scores and store it to an array variable. How is that so? Okay, so you can say instead of saying x is equal to 78, you can say and say for example r as our variable, right? And then 5. Okay, so you are trying to declare r as an array variable which is capable of holding five homogeneous values. So in this particular example, you can store 78, 90, 99, 79, and 78. Okay. Now, how is that possible? How is that possible? You can say R0 is equal to 78. Okay. And then R1 is equal to how much is that? 90. Now, this is an array variable. This is an integer array variable. And this 0 and 1 here is actually array index. Okay? It's an index that will give us, it's an identity actually. Okay? So if for example, if you want to print the value of 90, you can just say print %d and then make use of that variable err index 1 because that is actually the location of 90. Right? So that's array. And there are actually two types of array variable. We have this single dimensional array and we have this double dimensional array or multi-dimensional array. And in this particular discussion of ours, in this particular video, we'll try to focus on single dimensional array. All right. So if we are going to complete the discussion in here, ERR2 is equal to 99. Okay. And then ERR3 is equal to 79. I'm sorry. And then ERR4 is equal to 78. So array index is always start by default at 0. Okay, and it goes on and on. So if, for example, in here, you'll say, instead of declaring int x, y, z, w, and t, you'll say x is equal to, how much is that? 78, then comma, this is possible in C, right? Y is equal to 90, that's still okay. Z is equal to 99, W is equal to 79, and T is equal to 78, comma, this is still okay. Semicolon. You're trying to declare several integer variables, ordinary variables, and putting scores on it, values on it. This is still okay. Now in an array variable, you can say int ERR as our array variable, which is capable of storing how much? 5 values, and then you'll say 78, 90, 99, 79, and 78. Okay, and this is still okay, right? So you're good as you're trying to do this thing. Okay, so eventually this 78 will be stored at ERR0, 90 will be stored at ERR1, 99 will be stored at ERR index 2, 79 will be stored at ERR index 3, and so on and so forth. That's array variable, single dimensional array. And in terms of the bits and bytes of a program, when you are handling a lot of values, the same type of values, C programmers are actually suggesting to use array variable. Okay, so we'll try to use this kind of variable, an array variable, and we'll try to please let us try to focus on single dimensional array first. Anyway, as we go on with our video posting, along the way I'll be posting another type of array, which is a multi-dimensional array, and at the same time I'll be trying to discuss the ideas of it, right? Because in this particular YouTube channel, we'll try to discuss topics by way of giving examples. All right. So here, look at this. This is our problem. Okay. We'll try to create programs to print all negative elements. When we say elements, I'm referring to values in array. Okay, single dimensional array. Okay. Single dimensional array. So we'll be creating programs that will ask for as to how many scores or values that we need to put into, and then along the way we'll be displaying all the negative values or elements in an array variable. Right, so that's it. For example, if we are going to say I need 5 scores, and if we are going to include 78, 90, negative 10, negative 20, the next thing that our program will display are actually those negative scores. Okay, so that's it. Now, this is our program. Actually, I did this program a while ago. By the way, we can integrate array and function programming, and we can even integrate array, function programming, and at the same time using recursive function programming. So it's a very challenging topic, and I'm so excited for this. We are almost done with our C programming tutorials. We are at the end part of the discussion, the topics. Okay, so here, um, I did declare I as my variable for loop because will be needing for loop statement in here. I'll be discuss later, and I need also x, all right, and I x actually is the upper limit for our loop statement, and then I tend to declare y as an array variable, and I decided to have 100, meaning this y can hold up to 100 values, integer values. All right, so we can store 1, 2, 3, 98, 94, for as long as it will not go beyond 100 values. All right, so here, look at this. I did not use function programming here. It's a simple C programming language and trying to apply the concept of, or this array data, the array variable. Okay, so here we'll try to display this one. Okay, so when we are going to execute this program, this program will then display enter size of the array. Okay, assuming we'll say 5, so meaning we are trying to input 5 scores or values. So this 5, when we are going to press enter key, will be stored at x. So x now has a value of 5. Please follow my screen in here, because we use this one, scanf. Okay, and then the next thing is what? Enter elements in array. So enter elements in array. Backslash in means what? Next line. So our program will move to the next, the cursor, and then followed by loop statement. All right. Now the loop statement says what? What is this? The loop statement says for I is equal to 0, I is less than x. All right. Then I plus plus. So meaning we are going to start our I at 0, and it will end up if our I is not anymore less than x. Now in this particular example, our x is 5, right? So our the expected value of I in here is from 0 to 4. All right? Because once it becomes 5, then 5 is not anymore less than 5. So meaning this condition becomes false, and if this condition is false, we are not going to perform this line. All right? So since our I is 0, okay, and the condition says is your I, which is 0, less than x, or x is 5. So meaning the condition is true. And since the condition is true, perform this one, scanf. And now our program is asking for a value. Say for example, we will input 67. Then automatic 67 will be stored at where? Take note, this one is what? It's an array variable. So our 67 will be stored at y. Okay, y is an array variable, and whatever is the value of I as our index. In this particular line, our I is 0. So meaning at y index 0 will be storing 67. Okay, are you following? And then curly brackets, right, demands us to go back. And when it goes back, we'll try to increase the value of I and check if I is lesser than the value of x. Okay, so when it goes back, our I becomes how much? Our I becomes 1, right? Because of I plus plus. And then the program is now checking if our I, okay, if our I, which is actually 1, less than 5. And again, the condition is true. Now, since the condition is true, perform. So it will ask for a value. So assuming our value is 89. So then 89 will be stored at y index, whatever is the value of I. Our I is 1. Are you following? So then 89 is being stored at variable I index 1. Again and again, variable y. Y is an array variable. Right? So that's it. And curly bracket again demands us to go back and increase the value of our I. Please follow my screen. This is important. Our I now becomes 2. And then here comes the condition. Is I, which is 2, less than x, which is 5. Again, the condition is true. Now, since the condition is true, perform again. Okay, perform. Now, assuming we'll try to input negative 90. So, negative 90 will then be stored at what? Where? Y index, the value of I, which is 2, index 2. So, Y index 2 now has 90. Right? Curly bracket again. It goes back. And when it goes back, what's next? I now becomes how much? 3. And condition. Is your I, which is 3, less than x, which is 5? Yes, the condition is true. Now, since true, perform. Alright? No. Where's... I'm sorry. There must be... Yeah. So, assuming... yeah, since the condition is true, perform again. This is the one. Look body. Now, assuming we input 76. What's next? 76 will be stored at y index. How much is our I? 3. Okay? So, why do we need to store 76 to here? Because we are using scanf, right? Scanf, whatever is the value will be stored at here. Y, then followed by whatever the value of I. Right? So, curly bracket again. So, it goes back. And when it goes back, what happens? Increase the value of I. I now is 4. Right? And then, condition. Is your I, which is 4, less than x, which is 5? Yes, sir. True. And if true, perform this one. Ask a value. Assuming the value is 75. Right? So then, 75 will be stored at y, whatever is the value of I, which is 4. Curly bracket again. Okay? When it goes back, I increases to 5. Right? And then, the condition says, is your I, which is 5, less than x, which is 5? This time, the condition is false. Now, since the condition is false, do not ask for a value anymore. Do not perform this one, but go next to this curly bracket. Meaning, you have to exit from here. So, when we exit, the next line says what? Display or print. What is this? It will print, what's that? All negative elements in array are. Okay? So, spacebar. So, we need to add spacebar here. And then another for loop. Actually similar to here, right? But then instead of asking for values, we'll be displaying the value. Okay. So um, it initialize again our I. So our I now is how much? Our I is 0, right? And then the condition says is our I, which is 0, less than our x. Here, before, just a while ago, our I was 5. But then because of this new for loop statement, we tend to go back. We initialize our I by 0. And then we will ask if our I, which is 0, less than x. Our x stays 5. Right? So, meaning the condition is true. Now, since the condition is true, alright, get inside the loop body. And the loop body says what? It's a condition. Is, what is that? Is y, okay? Is y, curly, square bracket, whatever is the value of I, 0. Is y less than 0? The condition is what? We don't know. But then the question is, how much is the value of y index 0? Our y index 0 is here, 67. So meaning, good as we're saying is 67 less than 0. The condition is false. Now since the condition is false, right, exit from here and goes down to the curly bracket of for loop. Curly bracket of for loop demands us to go back. And when we go back, we have to increase the value of I. So in here, our I now is how much? Our I now is 1. And then check the condition again. Here. Is our I, which is 1, less than x, which is 5. The condition is true. And then since the condition is true, get inside the loop body and check the condition again. Right? Is y, right here. What is this? Is y index, whatever is the value by, our I is 1, less than 0. Good as we're saying, is our y1 here that contains 89 is 89 less than 0. The condition is false. Since the condition is false, exit from here and proceed to the curly bracket. Again and again, the curly bracket demands us to go back to the main loop and increase the value of I. So please follow my screen. Our I now is 2, alright? And then check if our I, which is 2, less than 5. The condition is true. Now since the condition is true, get inside the loop body, and another condition is our y index, whatever is the value of I, which is 2, alright, less than 0. Good as we're saying, is the content of y2, which is actually negative 90, okay, negative 90, less than 0. Now in this particular condition, the condition is true because negative 90 is lesser than 0. Now since the condition is true, perform this one. Print whatever is the value of y index I. Our y index I at this time is y2, and y2 contains negative 90, and negative 90 will be printed in here. Are you following? And curly bracket, exit, curly bracket here, return to the main loop and increase the value of I. Okay. Whew. Our I now is how much? I'm sorry. Our I now is how much? Our I now is 3. And is 3, I'm sorry, we'll try to make, is 3 less than 5. The condition is true. Now, since the condition is true, get inside the loop body and check again another condition. Is, I'm sorry, is y index 3, because the value of y is 3, less than 0. Our y index 3 is how much? Our y index 3 is 76. So is 76 less than 0? The condition is false. Right. Now, since the condition is false, do not display the value of yi, but then move down and goes back again. When you go back, or when we goes back to the main for loop, I now becomes 4. So question, is I, which is 4, less than x? The condition is true. Now, since the condition is true, get inside and check the condition again. Is y sub whatever is the value of I, which is 4, less than 0? Good as saying is y4, which is actually 75, less than 0. The condition is false again. Now, since the condition is false, exit from here and goes back here. Curly bracket demands us to go to the for loop. And when we tend to get back in there, I now becomes 5 because of I++. So, condition is your I, which is 5, less than 5. This time, the condition becomes false, because 5 is not any more less than 5. So, since the condition is false, what's next? Exit from this statement. When we exit, the next statement is return 0, meaning exit, terminate the program. And this is the screen output. Alright. So that's it. Our program tend to ask for as to how many scores or values that you wanted to include, and out from those scores or values, our program will tend to identify the negative values and display it on the screen. That's how it works. And we are trying to use array variable, single dimensional array variable. Okay, so I hope I was able to, explain the behavior of array variable. So that's it. We'll try to run this program to our online compiler. Right. What is the value? 67, 89, negative 90, 76, 75. Okay. This program is actually the program that we were discussing a while ago. Okay. So we'll try to click run. Okay. So here, how much was that? 67, 89, negative 90. Now, inter size of array. Our example was 5. When we press enter K, 5 is being stored to X. Here. And then, enter elements in array. So, say, what are those elements? 67, 89. So, 67, 89, right? What's next? Negative 90, 76, 75. Negative 90, 76, 75, right? And press enter K. All negative elements in array are, we only have one, negative 90, which is actually correct. All negative elements in array are 90. Okay, so that's it. We'll try using different, say for example, we wanted to have 10 scores or values. So say for example, 1, 2, 5, 7, negative 2, negative 5, negative 7, negative 4, negative, I'm sorry, lost connection. I'm so sorry. I have a technical problem in here. We'll try to run it again. So, 10 for example, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example, negative 2, negative 7, negative 8, negative 4, 6, for example, positive. So when we press enter K, our program now displays all the negative elements. 2, 7, 8, and 4. We have this negative 2, negative 7, negative 8, and negative 4. Alright. So that's it. I hope I was able to give you the beha- the how array variable works, and I hope I was able to discuss the technicalities of it. Okay, and I hope I was able to give you the whole idea of the program. Okay, don't worry if you're still confused with single dimensional array variable. I'll be posting videos on it. I'll be giving you several examples, and after those examples I will then be shifting to multi-dimensional array, and then after the multi-dimensional array, then we'll try to discuss and give examples on a program using array variables and using at the same time recursive function programming. Okay, so it's a very challenging topic, and after all those challenging topics, the last topic that I'm going to discuss is pointers. Okay, so that's it, and then we're all done. Okay, so thank you so much. I hope you click subscribe. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, and please share this channel to your friends, to your classmates, of course, to your relatives. Okay, who are wanting to learn C programming. If you want to be good in programming, the best thing to start is start learning C programming. Okay, and please, I have this new video content. I have this art attack. Please watch my video also. Okay, so thank you so much. God bless you. Goodbye for now.